Hi guys, it's Phoenix here. I'm so sorry I haven't posted forever. I've just been really busy with school, and I don't know honestly how long it's been, so I'm gonna just say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Groundhog's Day, and Happy Valentine's Day because it's coming up, and probably by the time I upload this video, it's gonna be even past. So, I asked on my story a really long time ago what you guys want to see, and you said how I color my artwork. And I used to color with Copic markers. Right here you see these alcohol-based markers. But I lately started doing more portraits, so I've changed my method. So this video is going to be more of a recent how I color my pieces, but I hope it's helpful. So cue the voiceover. Hey, so I first started off by picking out which drawing I wanted for my sketchbook. Anyway, from there, I scanned it into the computer, or in my case, just took a picture and sent it to myself via iMessage on my MacBook. Anyway, right now I'm tearing out paper so I can measure out the scale and like how big I want my drawing to be. From there, I'm going to lightbox it onto the sheet, and I kind of just, right now, I'm figuring out all the mistakes that I did in my original drawing. Anyway, I'm fixing that right now. From there, I'm going to measure off my border, and I'm going to use just some washi tape that I bought from the dollar section at Michael's to section off my paper and place it on my drawing mat. Remember, you might want to section this off somewhere that you're comfortable and you don't want to move your paper too much. Although, if you are someone who needs to move their paper to have even coloring strokes, I won't recommend doing this. Totally an optional thing to do. What? Woo! One less step to remember. Wow, I'm such a perfectionist. This literally takes a minute. I don't even know why this footage is so long. Anyway, from here on out, I'm just figuring out the base color of the skin. You basically want this to be the lightest color on your page because if you start off with a really dark color and you realize, I don't like this, or you messed up, there is no going back. You're just gonna have to get darker. Personally, I use watercolor, and watercolor, there is no going back. So if you're comfortable with a more going back medium, you might not want to use watercolor. I would prefer gouache, for example, because it's still paint and you can go over it with lighter colors. Anyway, here I'm mixing in the darker colors, or the base shadows. I'm just placing out where I want my shadows to sort of be, just so I can have an overlay of where I want to deepen and where I don't want to deepen. Now I'm just going in the face and adding also those base shadows, just to create some dimension on the face and also have an overlay. If you ever find yourself having too much water in one area, I would recommend having another tissue on hand just to get rid of it while it's wet, or else you're going to be stuck with this great blob on your paper. Speaking from experience. Now I'm going to go in with a darker color. This is way darker than the previous colors that we've used. Now that you see it up close, you can see that the second shadows really aren't that deep or dark. They're just like a layout of where I want things to be. Right now I'm going in with a darker brown, as you can see, and this kind of is darker, so it actually places out where the shadows are, and this is your first layer of shadows. I'm just blending it out a bit more here. Here I'm adding shadows to the jawline and creating her cheekbones. Although later on I realized that I made a very large mistake in the cheekbones. Thankfully, this camera is old and cannot show the mistake that I made. But up close, you can see it. Now I'm just adding some more dimension to her collarbone and her back. Don't mind my big head in the frame. Don't know what that my crusty scalp is doing, but it's there. My apologies. Anyway, now right here I'm going in with some peachy colors just to add the blush. I am lazy and I don't like to wait for my watercolor to dry, so I have a hair dryer right next to me at all times. P.S. Life hack. If you don't want to wait for your watercolor to dry, like me. Adding in some more blush on the forehead, jaw, and the tip of the ears. Anyway, now here I am deepening the shadows of where probably your shadow is going to be deepened, like the inside of your ear, your eyelids, because she's looking down. The bottom of your nose ends up having the biggest shadow because, your nostril creates shadows. I'm laying out the base color for my eyes, which was like an olivey color, but in the camera it looks really black. I don't know why. I'm also leaving out the base color and strands for the eyebrow. I would normally go in with some lighter colors, but I normally use colored pencils afterwards, so I don't normally go really ham with the watercolor, just to be safe. I'm simply just adding more dimension to the chin and the bottom of the eyes right now. I'm deepening the blush of the nose and deepening the colors of the lips right now. Now we're starting off with the base color of the hair. Also, we're going in with the lightest shade of brown, just in case I want to darken it later, which I end up doing. I end up doing her hair a really dark brown, but it's recommended to start with a lighter color, just to be safe. Then you're going to end up going with a darker shade of your base color, creating some shadows. This is the part where I realized that, oh my gosh, this brown is too dark, and I did not mix enough water with it. So this is me regretting my life decisions. As you can see, that line that is next to her face bothered me for the entire time I was doing the rest of the shadows. This is me trying to fix my problem, but realizing that it's too late. And there is no going back. And the only hope that I have is that the colored pencils can block out this large line that I've created on the hair. I'm not coloring all of it with shadows, and I'm going streaks from the bottom to the top. Your highlights are going to be where your hair curls or folds. So you want to keep those the lightest color. And the darkest colors will normally be at the bottom or any place where shadows can be created. The strand of hair behind her forehead is probably going to have the darkest shade. This is when my camera died because I forgot to charge it. And I'm currently using my phone camera for this part, and my tripod can't have a phone. It's like it's not made for it. So I had to rest my phone on top of my desk. So this footage really sucks. I'm so sorry, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is where I'm going in with colored pencils. I'm going in with like a light brown color to create the shadows and dimensions of the hair. Now I'm going with a pink colored pencil to increase the blush. I'm going in back with the brown colored pencil to add dimension. Now I'm starting in with the hair. Anyway, I realized that the watercolor basically did nothing, and I don't know why, but I decided to literally cover the entire hair with colored pencils, so I really don't know what was the utter point of using watercolor. But, that's how I color, so y'all asked for this. Anyway, I'm going in with it's like a dark brown, but it's like lighter than the color that I'm going to use. Now I'm going in with a darker brown, and I'm creating all the shadows that are deep in crevices in the hair to give it dimension. Ooh, I sound so fancy saying this. I literally don't know what I'm doing, so don't trust me. Okay, at this very point, my friend FaceTimed me, and since I was using my phone camera, I had to stop. But this is me adding highlights with a gel pen. Your highlights normally go on your lip, your nose, the top of the bottom of your eyebrow, some parts of your skin, like near the neck, but again, that isn't necessary. Also, if you are the white of your eye and the white of your teeth, if your girl does have teeth showing, you might want to add grays or cream hues just to separate it from the highlights, and so your highlights pop more. Woo, some fancy shots. This is just basically me prepping for the background. I'm going in with some light blue. I also added some green at the top. And this part is totally optional, but I thought it'd be fun to add a nice gold trim to the girl. I'm going in with a Posca paint pen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But there's basically a pen where the paint is in it, so you don't have to worry about a brush. Woo. Also, I didn't realize that this pen would take me literally 3 months to get to me. Apparently, if you don't want to pay for shipping, it takes literally forever for something to come from China. So, pay for shipping, guys. It's worth it. This shot is totally unnecessary, but this is me removing the washi tape. I just thought it's pretty satisfying, so I thought you guys might want to see it. Just finishing off with his signature. Here's the finished result. I hope this was helpful. Comment down below what you would like to see next, and thanks for watching. Bye!